Hello, everybody. Is there anybody out there? I see people here, but nobody's responding. Good morning. There you go. So, welcome everybody to the groundbreaking ceremony for the model block. My name is Fred Blackwell. I'm the executive director of the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency. I am the MC this morning. We're going to move through swiftly with our program, but I just wanted to say a couple of things before I introduce some of the folks who are going to say some words to you. The Model Block program was established in 2005, and the purpose of the program was to make sure that as we started to implement a redevelopment program here in Bayview Hunters Point, that we focused in on all aspects of redevelopment, including making sure that we are committing resources, time, and energy to improving the lives and quality of life for existing residents and homeowners in this area. And so the model block was created for that purpose, and it has three components to it. One component is the private realm, where we are providing low-cost loans in order to deal with deferred maintenance issues, whether it's roofs or window repair or upgrades to help people with code issues. The second component of it has to do with the public realm. And much of what we're going to be talking about is that public realm. Streetscape improvements, traffic calming, dealing with flooding issues and things like that. The third component of the program really is a kind of thread that runs through everything, and that is that we are using kind of a community organizing approach to accomplish the two things that I mentioned earlier. And so everything that you will see here that's going to happen in this model block is happening as a result of the hard work of people who live on this block, which is a very important thing. Just a word in terms of process. One of the things that we did in establishing this block is we actually had a competitive process. And so blocks applied to be the model block, and this group stepped up and put a good foot forward, and we ended up selecting them. In addition to what I talked about in terms of residents being in the lead, there was a lot of city collaboration on this project. There were financial contributions that were made by the EPA, DPW, the Redevelopment Agency, and PUC. But beyond those financial commitments, much staff time has been put into coordination, and people from the planning department, the MTA, all the agencies that have contributed money have also contributed time and energy in order to try to make the residents' dreams a reality in this block. Before introducing the mayor, I just wanted to introduce and just point out that I've got the president of our Redevelopment Commission here sitting in the front row, Commissioner Swig, who has been a big proponent of this program. When we go through our budget process every year, he is always asking us how we can find more money to commit to the model block program. And so he's a very big champion for this. But I want to introduce Mayor Lee. And just one thing I want to say about Mayor Lee is I think it's very appropriate for him to kick us off, because we are moving forward, and I think the spirit with which Mayor Lee has approached his work over the last few months. I think everybody who is here and who have witnessed his work can testify to the fact that the notion of this being a community-driven project, the notion of this being a project where we're trying to find ways for the city to help the residents here realize his vision is right in line with the way that the mayor has been working over the last few months. And so, without any further ado, Mayor Lee.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Newcomb Avenue in the Bayview. And I'm here first of all. I want to also commend Fred, because we're working so closely together. You're gonna be looking at us as brothers when it comes to redevelopment, because we're that attached to what his agency, what his commission has been doing. And I want to signal to all of you that we're going to fight like the Dickens for every ounce of resources that we need, and redevelopment is right there in every neighborhood of our city doing good work. So I will continue to make that fight, Fred, with you and with your commission. But the most important thing today is I want to thank the residents for welcoming me here. This is your neighborhood, this is your home, and it allows us in government that if you invite us here, that means that you trust government to work with you, not to work against you. And, you know, there's so many other years where we said things different and we felt differently. And now we're kind of moving past that and getting to where we ought to be working very, very closely together more and more. And so it is kind of my heartfelt thanks that you invite us to your home, allow us to then be creative, think outside the box, be more supportive of the community needs here, so we can possibly change what has historically been a street that people drive through rather than a street that people want to be on. And so I want to make sure this transformation continues with every one of you feeling that it's your partnership with your government, local and otherwise, working closely with Supervisor Cohen and the mayor's office, making sure things happen the correct way. Every level of it the correct way. So that one of these days, maybe even Espanola might buy a house on here. See it? Yeah, right. But I wanted to signal a number of things that have happened to bring everybody together on this project. It is, as Fred said, a very serious collaboration. And it began with the redevelopment having a different kind of local discussion with residents here, getting the support of our local leaders like Malia Cohen and others on board, and then making sure you saw a vision that could actually be accomplished, not a vision that you see sometimes where it may not even happen in your lifetime. But now you see something right in front of your door that's going to bring about slowing the traffic, some trees, permeable landscaping, streets that are paved, just all kinds of things that you see other neighborhoods getting, to be quite candid with you, right? And, you know, the Great Streets Project hadn't been presented in all the neighborhoods in San Francisco because it's been so focused in many times around our commercial corridors. But now this is the first time it's taken to a purely residential area, and it's important that we do it in Bayview because it means a lot to the residents here to get something that everybody else has been taking a look at and embracing. We had to get something here to make sure we understand the benefits of what City Hall is trying to do for everybody else. So it began with that, began with your embracing of that vision, and then it very dedicatedly the last couple of years. You got Public Works in, you got our Public Utilities Commission here in San Francisco, you got Planning Department, you got our Bayview PAC, you got the Urban Estuary Institute, you got all kinds of agencies coming together, planning this thing out, MTA included, and everybody's saying, I can also add value to this. You even got the city administrator's community challenge grant money twice to come in here. Who is that city administrator? I don't know who that guy's name is. Yeah. But you got all of the different agencies working together under planning with redevelopment, with the different agencies. They all got a piece of this, and they all decided they would put it all together and include the smallest locally hiring companies to do this right, that would hire the right way and that would do it the right way. You got so many great elements here. And then you got people going to, who used to be a department head here, but also knows the value of local jobs, and that's Jared Blumenfeld at EPA. You got him aboard with some serious money from the water quality fund that they have at EPA. Because, as you know, Jared never, while he left the employment of the city, I don't think he ever forgot all the things that we were still trying to do here and hadn't done while he had his years here. So he'll continue helping us out, right, Jared? All right, all right. And that became some serious money, totaling everybody coming together, $1.6 million to put on this street. That's an incredible value, incredible contribution, and then the whole collaboration with talking to people to make sure nobody's left out, their viewpoints are left out about how we get this done. All of that collaboration doing the right way, I think, results in this great vision now being able to be produced. And I'm going to look forward because I'll be back here, not just at the end, during the time it's being under construction. I want to see those trees going up. I want to see permeable landscaping and those sidewalks built out. I want to see at the end of these streets those raised crosswalks where cars are driven and they have to slow down. They have to slow down for your safety, for your kids' safety here. That's what a new, modern, model street looks like, right, Fred? Right. It's that kind of street that we all wish our neighborhoods would have. We get to produce that here. So I'll be here more than once, more than twice, and make sure and oversee that the city does all of its work. It's not lost upon us that it's Public Works Week, beginning next week. And I want to give a shout out to Ed Riskin and to Fuad Swice and all the men and women at the Public Works Department, because they're a key part, along with PUC and along with planning and along with all the other agencies, MTA and others, that are all coming together, putting their best efforts forward to make this happen in a coordinated way. So you won't see, oh, the trees getting done in 1 month and then the streets, and then all of a sudden they gotta break up the sidewalk again because nobody did it the right way and they didn't coordinate. All of that coordination is being done smartly. It's got to be done smartly because it's your money, ultimately. Even though it comes from all the agencies, it's your money coming back to you in the best way, in the smartest way. So with that, I want to thank every agency here, you know, that's got a piece of this, all of the sacrifice time that they do, because it kind of takes a little extra effort to coordinate everything, right, Fred, and to make sure we don't step on each other's toes while we do it the right way. And you're going to hold us accountable. But I want you to do that because I want you to make sure you bring me out on happy occasions. Places where we can see people hired, people going to work, and then ultimately they can live decent lives. That's what it ultimately comes down to. And then you can produce the kind of street that we feel represents what San Francisco is to everybody else. So we're not just tourists. We're not just people coming one time, but every single day we're going to feel this, and we want to feel this being a lively street that everybody can live on, not do other negative things on. So I want to thank you again. Comes back to the neighborhood. Thank you very much for inviting us to your house.
Thank you, Mayor Lee. You know, the partnership here starts on the 1700 block of Newcomb, but it goes all the way to the 1600 block in Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. And to represent HUD, who has been, or the Environmental Protection Agency, who has been a great partner, here is Jared Blumenfeld.
I'll represent HUD too.
and HUD.
Anyone. Thank you all for coming out. It's great to have a mayor that, you know, you read about it in the paper. We finally have a mayor that doesn't care about politics but cares about getting stuff done. And that's what we need. That's what we need. So I remember back in the dark days when we were trying to get rid of Hunters Point Power Plant. Ed was the city administrator. He was pushing. He got it done. Now it's a time to get something good. So, you know, environmental justice is something we talk about a lot. Environmental justice makes a case for not only getting rid of the bad stuff, like Hunters Point Power Plant, but also making sure that you get the good stuff first. And that's what this project is about. It's about a new concept which is called green infrastructure. So when we think about our streets, when we think about our sidewalks, when we think about our street lights, it's now part of a system that provides a service. So we have two things that have been neglected. One is the Bayview, and the other is the Bay. So since the gold rush, 90% of the wetlands in the Bay have been filled in. Those wetlands act as a filter for all the water that goes into the Bay. When you don't have that filter, you need to recreate one. That's what we're doing here today. We're making sure that all the rainwater that falls down here doesn't lead on the rainiest days for Ed Harrington. He runs one of the cleanest shops just down here. I biked past it on the way here. You want to make sure that those combined sewer overflows, they happen about 10 times a year. By doing this, not only do you increase your property values, not only do you know that you're doing part for the environment, but you're also putting less of a strain on the wastewater treatment plant, and you're helping the Bay. And the Bay needs our help. The Bay is really in trouble. When I came down here, we passed Bay Shore. There's a reason it's called Bay Shore, because that's where the shore of the Bay used to be. So a lot of this area is fill. So when we think about infrastructure, we're also securing this for the future. we're also making sure that this street is ready when we do have the next big earthquake, and it looks very much like a green street when we're finished. So you are providing not only all the beautification that you're going to get, but the reason the EPA and when the president talked about winning the future, this is what it's about. It's about investing money in communities that haven't had that investment. It's about making sure that local people are employed where they aren't employed today. So it's bringing all this together. And people say, you know what, what's happening in Newcomb Avenue today? I say, you won the lottery, right? But you should have won a long time ago. So we're thrilled that you're getting what you deserve, what you need, and something that will help the Bay. Thank you so much.
Next, I'd like to invite Supervisor Cohen to say some words. As you all know, she's your newest supervisor. This area has a very bright future, I think, and one of the reasons is because you have a great supervisor who's just been elected and has already kind of taken the mantle for a variety of issues that I think are of real importance to this community. So, Supervisor Cohen.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. This is actually a very exciting time, and it's very apropos that here we are on 3rd Street, not far from the corner of 3rd and Newcomb. And for those that know the history of the Bayview, 3rd and Newcomb has had a sordid past with the police, with a lot of just activity that has had a negative effect on the community. But here we are, a few blocks off of 3rd Street, still on Newcomb, to celebrate the beginning, the rebirth, quite frankly, of what I consider to be the rebirth of the southeast part of the city, the southeast part of our community. And I say this no matter where I go. What is critical is when Bayview becomes healthy and robust, all of San Francisco becomes healthy and robust. And streets make up communities, streets make up neighborhoods, and neighborhoods make up city. So I'm so pleased that the city is making an investment right here on this street, a street that has been neglected for a very long time. And with this investment, it will begin to bear fruit. It will yield. It will be a model, not just for Newcomb, but not all of the environment surrounding. And when we start to focus our time and our energy on here we are on Newcomb, but also on the 3rd Street corridor, we will continue to see this kind of growth and revitalization that our community has been in need of for a very long time. And I'm very excited that Fred Blackwell is also here, and the mayor is also here, as well as our other partners, DPW, PUC. All of us are committed to local hire and implementing this local hire ordinance and making sure that people who are not working are actually working, and continuing when we continue to put in an investment in this community, which is beautiful, that I absolutely love. So I'm just delighted to be here, and congratulations to all those persons that made this a reality, and I just thank you on behalf of the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Cohen. So we couldn't have DPW Week without hearing from the DPW Director, Ed Riskin. He's responsible for all of the streets in San Francisco. And Ed, would you please come up and say something?
Thank you, and good morning, everyone. It's really great to be out here. This is one block of the many streets of San Francisco that altogether, with our sidewalks, cover 25% of our city. 25% of the city is covered with streets and sidewalks. But as the mayor said, they were designed more for people to drive through than to be on. And as Jared alluded to, they were designed to cover up the environment rather than to work with it, to work with its natural processes. What we have coming together here, really a great lead up to Public Works Week for us, is great partnership among a lot of different city departments, a lot of different funders from the region, from the federal government, to make a community-driven project happen, and to do it with a local contractor. As a matter of fact, all local contractors, Ashbury Construction and all their subs, all micro LBE contractors. Those are our smallest San Francisco local contractors, hiring local people to transform this block into one that's going to be higher performing, it's going to be safer, it's going to be traffic calm, it's going to be more attractive, and it's going to really function in a way that much better reflects the environment that we're sitting in here adjacent to the bay. So I just want to thank everyone for the many years of work
to make this project happen. I know it was a long time coming. I want to thank you all for your patience, and specifically want to acknowledge some of the folks who are really driving making this happen from our end. Our project managers, Chris Opreck and Murray Musinski, our great landscape architects, Koa Pickering and Andrea Alfonso, the resident engineer, and she is the one who's going to make sure that this job gets done, the construction gets done on time and on budget with as little disruption to the neighbors as possible, and that this beautiful rendering that we see here comes to life. Our resident engineer, Naomi Chow. From Public Affairs, the DC Najib, our contractor, John Kim from Ashbury, and some of our other partners, the lead from redevelopment, Lila Hussein, from the planning department, Andres Powers, and our director, John Ram, from the HRC, Salormi Dzunku, who's helped to make this a 100% local project, and our infrastructure partner in the city, the PUC, represented by General Manager Ed Harrington. It's a great partnership, all of us working together on behalf of you, the community. This is your project. This is your street. We're going to make it indeed a model for the rest of the city. So I want to thank the Redevelopment Commission and Director, and particularly the Mayor, for their leadership to get us here today. Congratulations.
Thanks, Ed. So we're going to finish up strong so that you can hear from a resident of the model block, Michelle Mouton. But before bringing her up, I just wanted to acknowledge some of the people who are standing in the back of the audience who have been very involved in working with other city departments and with residents here, and that's some of the staff of the Redevelopment Agency who have been working very hard. Vanessa Dandridge is in the back here. She is the project manager for this project area. She's standing next to Lacinia McMorrow, who is our assistant project manager. She's standing next to Roel, who is our compliance person. He is the one that makes sure that as we let contracts and hire people, that we hire locally, and that we also bring on contractors who are from Bayview Hunters Point. And so Roel is here. David Sobel, who has been involved in much of the work. Bill O'Brien here. Olson, who is kind of in many ways the architect of the model block program. Thank you, Olson, for being here. I hope I'm not leaving anybody out who's been working on this. It's always dangerous when you start naming names because you always leave somebody out. But, you know, there are a lot of folks at the agency who have worked very hard on this project. You know, this project has taken a lot of energy from residents, a lot of tenacity, a lot of commitment, and in keeping with the way that we do work here in San Francisco, a lot of patience. It always takes a long time for us to get stuff done, but ultimately we get it right. And so I'd like to invite Michelle Mouton to come to the microphone and give you some closing remarks from the perspective of somebody who lives on the block.
Okay, we're truly excited, all the residents, that this actually came to fruition. The initiative of the Redevelopment Agency, the Model Block program, was our opportunity to get to know our neighbors and become activists for our own community and to raise our voice. I think one person that wasn't recognized was Eric Hale. I don't know if he's still here. Who was when we had our first initial meetings and we really didn't know exactly what we wanted, he allowed us to really dream big. And people from Architecture for Humanities, I believe that Eric now works on his own design, One World Design, which we should keep looking at, because what they actually did is it volunteered countless hours of volunteer hours, unpaid hours, to come up with a plan that was super ambitious, that incorporated all the things that we, the residents, wanted, that we feel we deserve, that we feel is not a privilege but a right as taxpayers and homeowners in San Francisco. So I'm a native San Franciscan, and I've lived in many areas of the city, and I finally feel like we're kind of being noticed. And I think that Eric's work, why it was so important, and his colleagues, because he worked with other people, brought together things that we're not supposed to want as people of color in the community. We're not supposed to care about the ecology. We're not supposed to care about storm drainage containment. We're not supposed to care about, we're supposed to be complacent and not feel like we can be activists and make a change. And when he presented the plan to us, it was so over the top There were water streamers coming out of the ends of the block so that people wouldn't drive through quickly. But it gave us a lot of ideas, and some of the tangible ideas that are still being realized in the current plan are the chicaning of the street, so making it wiggly so people have to slow down, the narrowing of the streets, the lighting. We're dealing with a lot of issues here, and we didn't just want to make the street pretty. We wanted to make it functional and environmentally sustainable, and so we're doing that. We're building all the promises that the city has made about greening the city. We're having them here in this community, and we probably by the end of the project will have some aspects of our streetscape that are enviable to other people in more privileged areas and areas that haven't had to protest, because we are getting semi-permeable pavement. I don't know too many places in the city that are getting that. We're getting trees, and we're going to have air, and we're going to have better lighting. But our work is not over. We still have to try to drive down the crime in this area, to stop the dumping, public dumping, which goes on every day on the corners of Newcomb and Newhall. And we're hoping that because of the attention we're getting with the street, and because the feather in the cap that we can give to the mayor by realizing this plan, that it's a model for a resident-driven program, because we have worked really hard. Our seniors have worked hard. Our neighbors have worked hard to realize the dreams that are beyond many people's imaginations. Many people thought, oh, they're not going to do anything. Oh, what are they? They're troublemakers having these meetings. What are they talking about cleaning up the streets? This is where we live. This is the ghetto. And so we're reclaiming our streets, and the initiative of this project helped us to do so. And we're continuing to work with agencies and many people, the police, that we'll have to contend with a new police captain. We're going to inform him, and we're going to bring him up to speed on what we're trying to do. But it's a cooperative venture, and it's a partnership with many of the city agencies. We're glad that that people are working together, and the left hand knows what the right hand is doing, which I think is kind of rare in the city. I don't know. But I mean, it's been a really good thing. We're really excited. We know our work isn't done. We're trying to augment our street lighting because of safety issues, so we're going to keep fighting because we feel it's important, and we feel it's important for the quality of our lives while we're here, and that we can do it. We can make a change, and we have to be the catalyst for that change. The residents have to really be involved, and so we're going to make this change, and it's going to have effects on not only our generation but on the generations to come, and hopefully it'll be able to be replicated time and time again throughout the Bayview, because this is needed everywhere. I mean, it's one block, but it should be all over the city, all over this community. We deserve the same things that other people get in the city as taxpayers. So thank you so much, and thanks for coming out. Thank you.
All right. So to close, we're going to grab some shovels. I invite the mayor and Ed and everybody to join Ms. Mouton in bringing the shovels over here. We're going to break ground over here in front of the tractor. Thank you. That's the close of the program. Thank you very much. All right, here we go. All right. You guys don't get carried away.